Good morning. I'm Dan McClellan from successnc.org, and welcome to today's webinar entitled Simple and Free Web 2.0 Tools. This webinar is brought to you by North Carolina Community Colleges and Success NC. During today's session, we'll talk about some useful Web 2.0 tools and online resources, and we'll discuss some practical applications of these tools. Our presenter today is Emily Robertson. Emily is the Educational Technology Coordinator at Gardner-Webb University, where she's responsible for training faculty and staff in using technology to meet educational goals. She has a Bachelor of Arts degree in American Sign Language and also a Master of Arts degree in Educational Technology from Appalachian State. And in just a moment, I'll turn it over to Emily, and we'll begin the presentation. Now, throughout the presentation, we want to hear from you, so please type your questions and comments in the chat box, which is located on the right side of the screen. I'll be watching the chat box and capturing all of your questions, and we've scheduled some time today at the end of the presentation to address all of your questions. Once again, thank you for being here, and now I will turn it over to Emily.
Thanks, Dan. Hi, everyone. Welcome. Today I'm going to share with you some of my favorite Web 2.0 tools. Part of my job is working with faculty on campus to explore what tools could engage students and enhance the learning experience, but not at the expense of pedagogy. There's a tendency to want to use a tool or a device because it's cool, and as a techie, I get that. I love to use all sorts of new gadgets and apps in my classes, but it's important to allow pedagogy to drive technology and not the other way around. As we go through these tools today, keep in mind how you might use these tools for collaboration, to engage the learner, or to bridge that online gap that online students often complain about. I will try to cover several examples of how these tools could be used, but feel free to suggest your own ideas as well. First, I want to talk a little bit about the difference between Web 1.0 versus Web 2.0. What's the difference between them anyway? The term Web 2.0 is really a reference to the second-generation Internet user. Historically, the Internet was used for access purposes, access to information like email and static text documents. There was no way to engage, collaborate, or even interact with this platform, and this is what's known as the first generation. However, as the popularity of the Internet increased, so did the users' expectations. Now users wanted to move from just finding information to interacting with each other and with the content. Thus, the wave of social networking sites like Facebook and Twitter, and a real dynamic and interactive platform was created in which users could collaborate and share and create in real time anywhere in the world, thus the second generation Web 2.0. All right, let's get started. All of the tools I'm going to feature today are web-based, meaning that they don't require a software download and they're all free. We all know that in education today, budgets are tight. Expectations, though, are high to use technology in the classroom. So this approach is a win-win. You look great as an instructor, your students are engaged, and you don't have to break the bank or write a grant proposal to use any of these. One more thing as a reminder, we are recording this session, so if you want to follow along today as I jump to each tool and then review later, that option is available to you. Also, at the end of the presentation, I'll post a slide with my contact information and a list of all the tools discussed and the URL addresses where you can find them and test them out for yourself. The first tool that I'm going to share today is called Dropbox, and this is an absolute must-have in my opinion. Gone are the days of flash drives and emailing yourself files. Dropbox is a cloud storage solution where you can find files and store them and then access them on any computer anywhere in the world that you have an internet connection. The great thing about this tool is that you can create folders on your desktop at home, the office, your laptop, even a tablet like an iPad, and then when you save files to the folder, it automatically saves to the cloud location. For example, you can see on this screen I have several folders created, and when I save a file on my desktop, that file is automatically updated to my cloud storage box. This means that I can save a file at home, and then when I arrive to work, it's already there. This is especially beneficial for pulling up files when giving presentations, or if you teach at various classroom locations, your files are always available. This is such a better option than forgetting a flash drive at home, or if you leave files in one location and you need to run back to your office to grab them. Another great benefit using Dropbox is the ability to share folders and files. You can make folders that are public, and then you can also create folders that are specifically shared with individuals by providing those individuals with a private link. You could use this in the class by encouraging students or colleagues even to create their own accounts and then share private documents. For example, some of my files have people icons on them, and that reflects that they're shared with another individual. You can also see that they're linked, and I can send a link to someone and invite them to share the files that are inside the folder. This is just one of my favorite tools for colleagues sharing and working on documents, as well as an option for students to post assignments rather than using a traditional learning management system. So I would encourage you to check this out. You can earn free space, you can upload files, and you can create new folders and share them with others. All right, the next tool that I'm going to share is called JoinMe, and this has to be one of my all-time favorites. It's a fabulous tool for working with students and colleagues without having to be in the same location or use expensive software. I use this all the time for troubleshooting assistance and for demonstrations. It is a screen sharing tool that allows users to share their screen, exchange files, chat, and even take control. You can have up to 250 users participate at one time, and it allows you to work with users for demonstrations and even how-to examples. Really, you just need to type join.me into your URL address bar, and then you will see two arrows, orange arrow and a green arrow button. To share your screen, simply move to the basic option, which is the free version, and then click on the orange go button. You will see a prompt that asks you to save the file, and then it will run. You can click Run to execute the file, and instantly on the top of your screen, you'll see a sharing displayed. There is a 9-digit number that's displayed, and you can copy this number and email it as a link to users for them to connect to your screen, or if somebody goes to the URL, they can actually type that number into the green section and then click the green Go button. When people click on this link, they'll be directed to your screen and they will see whatever you're displaying on your screen. And I want to just point out a couple features. Clicking the phone icon will allow you to start a internet phone conference, and you can even chat with other users as well. I don't have any users to chat with because I'm the only one using this, but it would turn orange if other participants were online. Also, you can see a list of the participants, and next to their names, you would be able to upload files and share those with them. The last item is probably my favorite feature, and I use this a lot when troubleshooting with students and faculty. If they're having a problem at their office or home computer, I don't need to use a software to remote in. I can just click and request control, and they can allow me to take control of their computer. The other user simply accepts the request, and then I can navigate their computer, pull up files, or I can even demonstrate an action. I've used this a lot with technical problems. I ask the user to share their screen with me, and then I can watch them move their mouse to perform an action. And when I need to take over the computer, I just request control. No fancy software needed, and this is just a real quick and easy way to host synchronous sessions with students or even offer online office hours. All right. The next tool I'm going to share, we probably need to get out of JoinMe. All right, here we are. I'm going to talk about Poll Everywhere. Many of you may be familiar with expensive response systems like clickers. This is an online version of clickers. You can create surveys and what they call polls or questions. You just can click on Create Your Poll, or you can sign up for an account, which is also free, up to 40 participants. The great thing about this is that users can use text SMS messages, they can respond via the web browser, or even through Twitter. So students don't have to have a piece of equipment other than what they already have access to. You can use this tool in class perhaps to check for comprehension. I love to use this as a check to see if there's any muddy points after a lecture. It's anonymous, so students don't feel that their identity is going to be revealed if they don't really know an answer. You can also poll participants attending a workshop or even a presentation. You can create a poll on the fly, which is what we're going to do now. When you click Create Your Poll, you will see a pop-up, and we're actually going to type in our question. What is your favorite Web 2.0 tool? What's neat about this is you can have an open-ended response question where the audience can respond with anything just by typing in an answer, or I could move to multiple choice and create potential answers. You'll see that true and false is listed. That is just the default setting. You could even delete those and then type in an example. To add additional answers, just click the Add an Answer button, and you'll see that you can expand those answers as well. All right, so when you create a question, it will be displayed for your students, and you can send them a link, or you can even download it and put it right into a PowerPoint presentation. So when the students see it, for example, the screen we see shows what's your favorite animal, and students could text their choice to the number listed, and each of these items, lion, turtle, and grandpa, would have a specific code as well. So when they texted in the number, then that code would register as their vote. This would be the same on Twitter or if they logged in and posted. You can also save those results and then download those as well or display them to the class. This is a really great tool, and I love using it as a way to get a sense of my class or even to start a discussion. In one of my classes, I posted a question that said, what's your favorite browser? And the students posted their opinions, and then that started a debate on why a browser was better than another one. A quick note to mention is that you can even paste in mathematical statements. You just need to use the LaTeX plus colon, so it would just be LaTeX colon, and then you would paste in the markup for the mathematical statement. So this could be used in mathematics or even business and financial accounting classes. All right, moving on to another tool, we're going to talk about Jing. And if you're familiar with Camtasia or Snagit, which is produced by TechSmith, this is the free light version called Jing. And this does require a download, but it's real quick. And when it downloads, you'll see at the top of my screen a little sun, which has 3 different icons. And Jing allows you to capture an image on a website or create a quick how-to video. And what it does is once you've downloaded the tool, it resides on the top of your desktop, and you can use it to grab screenshots, screen captures. Once you've saved the captured content, you can embed it or email a link to share with students or colleagues. You can use this as a demonstration tool, maybe navigate a website, import images if you're trying to grab an image and put it into a presentation, or provide video feedback to students. Maybe you pull up an essay, and you can even display the screen and capture your comments, as well as maybe editing it and then sending it to them for a more personal touch. The only drawback is that you are limited to 5 minutes of recording time, so do keep that in mind. If you're looking to record full lectures, you may want to think about investing in the fuller software like Camtasia. This is so much better than how we used to capture images, which was using that print screen option on your keyboard and then pasting it into Paint or Microsoft Word. So I'm just going to show you a quick example of capturing. I can click the capture button, and then it will show a crosshair. And when I click, I can capture this image right here. I can save the image, I can capture video, and then talk about this particular item. I can redo the selection, cancel it, and once I save it, I can also send it to users as well. All right. We're going to move on to a new tool. It's a little new for me, but very exciting. This is called Audioboo.fm, and this is designed as an audio social network. This tool can be used to quickly create audio recordings up to 3 minutes. You can post podcasts or embed them into a learning management system, or even integrate them with other networks. You can record with just a basic microphone or upload pre-recorded files. What's neat about this tool is that you can also post images along with the boo and then tag the boo to make it more searchable, even provide a location using the map tool. There's not as much editing capabilities using this tool as there is with a more common audio recording tool like Audacity, which you may be familiar with, but it certainly has a lower technical learning curve, and which is why I thought I would feature it today. I almost forgot. You can bypass using the web-based version of Audioboo altogether and download the iPhone or Android app. And so you can just imagine the possibilities of being able to record your voice, add a photo and a location, and then share it with students. I'm going to show you real quick. When we click on Make a Recording or Upload a File, it will show you a pop-up window. You could upload the file, but we're just going to record using our mic. And then I'm just going to do a quick boo message by clicking the Start Recording button. Hi, this is Emily, and I'm giving a demonstration using Audioboo for my presentation today. You can pause or resume the recording. You can even restart the recording. And when you're happy with it, and I am, I'm going to add a title. Introducing Boo. I just love that name. I think that's real fun. And we're going to say it's a new Boo. I can also add an image just by clicking the box. It will pull up a screen, and I'll just use Arrow Man as an example. I can even use the map, and when I click a particular location, today I'm in Boiling Springs, North Carolina, I can move the microphone to show my location. So you can imagine if you maybe created a boo, an audio boo, and then showed students the exact location from where you're recording. Once you publish, it will save the boo, and then you can share it with friends and students. All right. The next tool I'm going to share about is called Posterous.com. It's originally designed as a web space where you could blog or share documents, even create a website without having to know a lot of fancy HTML code or logging on to one of the more popular blogger type sites. But what I really love about this particular tool is that you can post items just using email by sending an email to post@posterous.com, and you can add images and audio, video, even documents, PowerPoint presentations, and then when you save and send this email, you will receive a link, and then you could share that with students. This is a really popular option for someone that maybe is not using a traditional learning management system or wants just a space online where they can post a variety of things. What's also great is that, again, like a lot of the tools that I'm sharing today, you can make some of these items private, or you can have them public and searchable. You can You can create a Posterous space by email or web, and that's what we're going to do here. When I click on web, you can see that I can create a post. Welcome to my Posterous post. I can have the same formatting options just like in Word, and then I can upload images, audio, and video here. Then I can publish. Also, you can take note of the post options where I can determine the date display. I can have this tag so people may be searching for a particular information could find it based on these. And then also marking this as private if you just want to share it with a particular audience. I'm going to back up one screen, and I'll show you an example. This is one that I created. And here you see a photo of me with really short hair. And then here is a presentation that I did on some learning styles and tech tools. And you can see that students can actually scroll through these slides without having to have a specialized software like PowerPoint or even using a viewer. So this is a great way to share files all in one location. Okay, one of my just fun apps that I love to use and I thought you would enjoy is called Wordle.net, and this is a cloud generator that's based on the text that you provide. The more often a word is repeated, the larger the word is represented visually. So you could see just with some of the examples shown from the gallery how different words are enlarged and spaced out in different formats. In this example, we're going to go ahead and create, and I have a document ready to go that I have copied the text. You can type in text, and if you type in words numerous times, then that will translate to a larger text shown visually. Or I can just paste in a text. Today, I'm pasting in Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech. And once I click Submit, or Go in this case, it's going to take all of that text and arrange it visually based on the frequency of how many times those words are repeated. The reason that I share posting text is that this would be an example of maybe copying text from a reading or a speech and then asking students to consider what the text might be about based on the words that are emphasized. This is a great way to get your students engaged in discussion, and you can even return to the Wordle at the end of the chapter and discuss whether the featured words really captured the essence of the text. So this is a good way to start a discussion or introduce a chapter. And you have lots of different options. You can change the fonts. You can change the color settings. You can even change the language. And what I love to do is just hit the randomize button. It's going to change it all together. And when you find a display that you like, you can print it, you can save it to the public gallery to share, or you can take a screenshot, maybe even use Jing and capture this image and save it, and then you could paste it somewhere to share with others. One other example that's similar to Wordle is called taxido.com, and this is pretty much the same type of tool, except that you can upload an image and then the words rather displayed in a random pattern. This tool allows you to display the words within the positive space of the image, so you can see all the different possibilities. For example, here is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., his image and his speech as part of that image. A really, really cool way to display text. All right, another tool that I'd like to share real quick and easy is called tinyurl.com, and it is exactly what the name says. It's a simple tool that takes a long URL address and compresses it into a tiny one. Rather than copying and pasting a long and ugly URL, which sometimes, as we all know, human error, we might not get right, and then when we share it, it's going to be broken. Students might go to a dead link, they can't access it, or maybe you don't highlight the whole text and you have to do it in parts, and so this could result in a student landing on an error page. So really all you do is you take a giant URL like this one displayed here, you pop it into the field, and then you make a tiny URL. So if we use this example, we're just going to copy it and paste it using our keyboard commands, and when you make the tiny URL, it's going to display. And then you can share this URL with users, which is a nice, cleaner, and neatly packaged URL instead of the long, ugly ones. So definitely keep that in mind when you're using URL addresses. All right, now I would be remiss if I didn't mention anything from Google. There are so many tools available from Google, and in fact, many schools these days are migrating away from traditional software and using a myriad of Google applications. So I did want to highlight just a few. The first is Google Drive, and all you need to do to access these tools is to create a Gmail account. Once you do that, all these tools will become available to you. You can see that a lot of tools are listed on the top toolbar here, and here's where Drive is. When you go into Drive, this is actually what's formerly known as Google Docs, which you may be more familiar with. It's the same feature, just got a new name. You can create documents, presentations, spreadsheets, or you can upload files, and this is another example of file storage online that you can access. What's great about this particular tool is you can collaborate in real time on those documents without having to own special software like Microsoft Office. You could create, let's say, a document. You can invite other authors to participate. So if you can imagine, this would be an excellent tool for students that wanted to meet for a project they were working on or with colleagues. And rather than saving multiple versions and having to remember which one was the most up-to-date or sharing via email attachments back and forth, that can be exhausting. So keeping a tool keeping one document in one location that everyone can access, you can edit in real time, and you can see the other person's you can see the person's corrections and notations, and then save that file. You can also download it as a Microsoft Office document. So it doesn't stay in the Google document format. It actually comes down as a Microsoft document. So this is great for people maybe that are Mac users and don't have the software on their iOS devices. One of the best features of Google Drive is this Create Form. You can easily create a survey with a variety of questions and then either embed or email the link. And I have an example here. This particular form is set up as like an Excel spreadsheet, but when you create it, and I'm going to show you an example of the live form, it actually displays as a survey. It's got a lot more options in comparison to Poll Everywhere. I would say Poll Everywhere is more of on the fly or a quick poll, whereas this could be a full form that students had to fill out. I know one faculty member who has to take a lot of information for her students, and she spent hours taking that information from individual students' submissions and then putting it into an Excel document for her records. Now she simply posts this form, students fill it in, they submit it, and all of that information goes right into the spreadsheet, and you can even view that in different formats such as a bar graph or other graph examples as well. So this is something I've used in my online course to gather quick information from students, maybe their contact information, getting a sense of their comfortability with using computers. Really special tool. All right, of course, we can't leave out straightforward tools like Google Calendar. This is just such a simple but dynamic tool. You can create multiple calendars, maybe a personal calendar, a work calendar. You can display them individually, so just looking at what's on your plate just for you, or you can look at all of them at once and see the overlapping items. This is something that would be great for an office, maybe a class, so that everyone knew what was due for the class or when you were meeting. Maybe even for your family, this would be great. A family on the go, and everybody had their own color-coordinated calendar, which is something I love in terms of having different colors displayed. Best of all, you can embed the calendar into a website or a learning management system for others to view. Many schools even embed those calendars into their personal websites, and so people can click on a particular event that's displayed on the calendar. They can get specific details about times and locations, and they can add their this event to their own calendar with just one click, or even share it with others. Lots of potential. I could go on and on. There's some searching features like Google Wonder Wheel and Google Timeline, but I do want to leave time for questions, so I'm going to turn it back over to Dan, and I want to thank you so much for your attention today.
All right, thank you very much, Emily. We do have some questions that have come in through the chat box, and I have put those on the screen, so let's take a look at these questions now. The first one is, can you use JoinMe on an iPad?
That's a great question. You can. There is an app that you can download from the App Store. The only drawback is that you can only view JoinMe, someone's screen. You cannot take control, and they can't take control of your iPad or tablet.
Okay, question number 2 says, I have used some screen sharing tools that refresh slowly and look choppy, making it hard for students to follow along. How is the performance of JoinMe?
There is some delay, but I have not had significant problems where the screen is freezing or really choppy. It refreshes fairly quickly, and usually you just need to be cognizant that if you move the mouse around, that you're not clicking too fast while giving information, so that if the student has a slower internet connection, that they're able to see the screen while you're giving an example. So it is a good advice to maybe pause in between when you move the screen and when you share information.
Okay, third question is, how much storage is available using Dropbox?
Okay. Dropbox actually starts with 2 gigabytes for free, but you can earn up to 18 gigabytes of storage. The only catch is that you have to refer people to Dropbox to start their own account. So for each person that you send a referral and that they create their own account, you will earn 500 megabytes per person.
All right, question number 4. You mentioned that users were able to post anonymously using Poll Everywhere. Is there a way to know who the users are? Also, do you have other examples of online survey tools?
Okay, so the first question about users posting anonymously, you can see their IP address. There is a way to identify that, but pretty much the users remain anonymous. And you may want to assure your students that their phone numbers would not be listed as well. And also the company really is clear about their policy that they will not use your phone to send spam text messages as well.
Very good. Number 5, are there ADA accessibility concerns with using Jing videos as part of the class? And is there an option to add closed captions?
So this is a question that is near and dear to my heart. My background is in disabilities, and yes, absolutely, you do need to be aware that if you have a student that requires captioning as an accommodation, that you provide a way to caption the video. Unfortunately, because Jing is a free software, it doesn't have all of the bells and whistle features like the ability to add captions. So you would need to use a more robust tool like Camtasia. But if you are using something that like a webcam or this tool like Jing, you can use companies. For example, the school that I work with uses auto-sync technology. There are other captioning there are other captioning companies out there as well, and you can upload your saved video file, and then they will caption it for a small monetary cost.
Okay, and what was the name of that, the example that you use?
Oh, sure. We use auto-sync technologies.
Okay. Thank you very much. The 6th question, do you have any examples of tools for making presentations, maybe something other than PowerPoint?
Sure. One of the real up-and-coming new tools is called Prezi, and it's very similar to PowerPoint except it's interactive. So you can zoom in and out, you can pan across, you can create storylines. There's lots of examples. If you go to Prezi.com, you can view galleries. You can almost take your user or viewer on an exploration or a journey and not have the traditional one slide after another. Another option might be a SlideShare, where you can upload PowerPoints or PDFs. You can even add audio, and then you can save it as public or private, and then share the link to this video, which makes your PowerPoint more interactive. Or you can even embed using the HTML code into a learning management system. This doesn't require users to have PowerPoint software or use a PowerPoint viewer, and you can simply just give them a link to access rather than uploading a file or sending it through email. I did want to return, I didn't answer the second question about other examples of online survey tools. Two that we use quite frequently is SurveyMonkey, and you can have a free account with up to, I'd say about 40 users. You can ask 10 questions and send those out. And then Socrative is another response system similar to Poll Everywhere, but it's got a lot more robust tools and features. And the students can have, there's an app for students and an app for teachers. You can use it on any type of device, tablet or desktop, or even a smartphone. So definitely check out Socrative if you're interested in looking at another survey option.
All right, thank you. The last question, do you have to register with a Google account for each Google tool?
No, that's the beauty. Once you create a Google account, all of those tools that I mentioned, as well as lots of others, are available to you. So when you create the account, you'll see the toolbar at the top. You can explore the tools that are listed, or you can click on the More button, and it'll display lots of other options as well. And when you're creating accounts like these Web 2.0 tools that I've been sharing, for example, Posterous, I didn't have to create a brand new account. I was able to use my Gmail account, and so I didn't have to come up with another account and another password. So a lot of these tools work well and integrate with each other. So keep that in mind as well.
Excellent. Thank you, Emily. And it sounds like there are a lot of great tools out there, and we appreciate you giving us some practical applications of those tools as well. Now, as we wrap up today, I encourage you to check out successnc.org to find some other helpful videos and webinars. And once again, thank you to our presenter for today, Emily Robertson. This concludes our webinar, and on behalf of North Carolina Community Colleges, thank you and have a great day.